Organize Me Radio, episode 25, Black Women Who Organize. I'm Naeemah Ford Goldson. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Organize Me Radio. I'm Naeemah Ford Goldson, and today's guest is a creator of a popular Facebook group with 90,000 followers, Black Women Who Organize. Welcome to Shikia Clark.
Hi.
I am so excited that you're here because I feel like the group hasn't been around that long, but the followers are growing rapidly. Tell me, why did you decide to create the group?
During COVID, when we were all pretty much on lockdown, we had everyone, there was this large group, Black women who love outdoors. And so we all joined that group, right? And worked on the outdoors. Said, okay, this is good. I'm having a great time doing this. And then someone began a group called Black Women Who Love to Decorate or something similar. And I was like, well, this is great. But what happens when, during that off season, when you're not outside decorating your backyard, when you're not trying to, hang the best picture or find the best pillow? What happens in your day to day? I mean, during COVID, I was on lockdown with my children and my husband, and everybody doesn't have the same thought as I do. So it became one of those, well, everything is starting to feel cluttered, and how do I manage this? All working at the same time. And so I was looking for it. I was searching for it. So I asked, in one of the groups, I said, so is there another group for women who like to organize? And everybody chimed in, no, but you can add me. You can add me to your group. And I'm thinking, but I haven't started a group. And so I was fearful in the beginning. I sat on it for a couple of days. I was, I'm like, wait, that's a commitment. Like, once I start this, I don't know where it goes from there and what that entails. I hadn't researched anything. And so I started getting messages, private messages saying, hey, you should start this group. Don't be scared. I'm thinking, wow, like these women are supporting me.
Yeah.
And they're pushing me to do this. And so I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go for it. At the same time that I was thinking about it, someone else decided to go ahead and create the group. And I was like, wait, that was mine. You're not supposed to take mine. And so I thought about, I'm like, well, that's what happens when you sit on something, when you don't take action right away. Internally, I learned some things about myself, prior to actually creating the group. But I reached out to that person. I said, hey, you created this group. My idea, I want to be a part of it. I didn't hear any response back. So I said, you know what, just go for it, create your own. So I did. So instead of Black women who love to organize, we got Black women who organize. And initially it was friends and family. And I said I had about 200 members initially. And then all of a sudden, every week it started growing. And then it started growing exponentially, like really fast. I'm thinking, wow, I guess I'm not the only person, that felt this way.
I love it because I'm a professional organizer, and I created a group for professional organizers, and I feel like we've been trying to tell people for years to get their stuff organized, but I think it took the pandemic for people to really realize that their spaces do need to be organized in order to function, especially if you're in the house day in and day out. Do you have a background in professional organizing, or do you just love to be organized?
So I do not have a background in professional organizing. I am a working mom. But what my passion for it started when I was a little girl. I wasn't the typical kid who had toys all around their room or who loved clothes on their bed. I, at a very young age, was like, no, I need to put my things away. No, I don't want my toys out. And growing up, it was like, oh, I went into my parents' closet. Wow, your closet's messy. I think I'm gonna take today and I'm gonna clean your closet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably thinking, wow, this kid is a little weird, but they went with it, and I just been that way. And so for me, I've always lived this way, and it wasn't until I got had a family that I realized, like, wow, everybody isn't like me, especially my husband. And so just learning to manage that on a day-to-day basis, it's just always been there with me.
So it sounds like if you wanted to be a professional organizer, you already have the clientele there. So you definitely can. You have 90,000 followers. Did you expect it to be that big?
No, I did not. I didn't. I didn't expect it to grow to be that big and to grow so fast. But like I said, I'm just an everyday, person at home doing the best I can. And I'm pretty sure there are several women like me who are doing the same thing. And so it made sense.
What's your favorite part about the group?
So it's interesting. The part that I love about the group is that we are able to support one another. Mm-hmm. And people come up with the best ideas. And if there's a good idea, it takes off really fast. When the water bottle storage challenge,
I remember that.
yes, and so it took off really fast. And so I like that. I like that part of it. I like the fact that we all can share in ideas and thoughts and support each other. And hey, I got this, and where did you find it? And everybody's, so I enjoyed that part of it. Just relationship building, and I'm happy that businesses like yours and other professional organizers are out there able to even participate, be a part of it. Hopefully you're growing as much, learning about, these women every day, and hopefully it's helping you grow your business as well. So just the camaraderie, the support from Black women for Black women.
I definitely feel the sisterhood in, all of these groups, the outdoor spaces, the organizing one, the decorating. So I agree with you. There is such a sisterhood in this. So what do you do to keep everyone engaged? Or is the group just, keeping itself engaged, like with the water bottle challenge?
So that's one of the things that scared me initially about starting a group, was how do I keep this going? I don't want it to be, I didn't initially want it to be one of those groups where you kind of set it and forget it, and people just post and, they're on soliloquies about their feelings about cleaning and organizing. I wanted people to grow from it. So we started implementing the challenges on a monthly basis to get folks really moving. I had some members actually want to do sessions where they get on the phone with each other, computers with each other, and clean their houses at the same time. So that was a lot of that was happening initially. Currently, we're kind of in that whole, everything is just on cruise control. So I do have plans to, really hopefully engage the members more as we continue to grow.
With all Facebook groups, everyone has access to requests to be a member. And I wonder if you have had this issue, because I have with the group that I started. So I created, along with 5 other women, the National Association of Black Professional Organizers. Mm-hmm. However, it started from a group called Professional Organizing Sisters that I started on Facebook. It was just for professional organizers, women of color. And I've had so many white women throughout the years request to be in the group and then say something like, well, I wouldn't want to be a part of a group that excludes people, or I don't see color. Do you have that issue at all with your group?
Oh, that's a good one. So my family is multiracial. So when I started this group initially, I wasn't thinking about color. It was built on the premise of Black women who something, right? Mm-hmm. But in my head, I wasn't thinking about that at all, per se. I was thinking just about, the group, loving to organize. Um, but as it started to grow, I started to get the questions within the group. Why is this group called Black Women Who Organize? Why do we, is this only a group for Black women? And so I was forced to make a decision at the time to say, yeah, this group is only for Black women, or women of, I wanted to say women of color, but Black women who, organize. And I wanted them to be able to support each other and grow with each other. There's so many other groups, Facebook groups, about organizing that anyone can be a part of. And, you feel free to do that. But at the same time, I wanted this group to, exclusively be about Black women who love and support one another and help them, take care of their homes. And so I was kind of forced to make that decision. Now, I did have a couple of incidents where I had a couple of non-Black members get through, because I didn't have as many rules and regulations around membership. And so I had a couple that got through, and the group went, I'm not going to say crazy, but I woke up Sunday morning to private messages, phone calls saying, oh my gosh, you got to get in really fast, your group. And so I logged in to see that a white woman had got in a group, and she thought it was about Black women who politically organized. And so she was, supporting my sisters, according to her. But, we tend to not stop there. There were several women who trolled her page and found out that she had a different motivation. You had to be a woman, a Black woman, or a Black woman of color. Because, we Black women, we come in different shades, colors, and backgrounds, ethnicities, and, we're global. And so you could not just say, well, a Black woman from the US. You have to think about Puerto Rico and,
right.
All these, Caribbean places, and Africa and Europe. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work to manage, but it's been worth it.
I definitely agree, because I feel like we definitely need a space for us to just kind of, to bond, to help each other, to have that sisterhood. And a lot of times in these groups, especially the ones that are dominated by white women, our voices get silenced, right? Which is also one of the reasons why I created our professional organizing group, because in other professional organizing groups, we were kind of, I guess, I don't know if we weren't being taken seriously, or they just didn't care to answer our questions, but they'd answer other people's questions, or I might get a snarky response or something like that, So I definitely think it is important to have that sisterhood, and that is definitely a tough situation to be in, to have to make that decision to not let women that aren't Black into the group. Now, what about, so that just made me think of something. What about men? Do you ever have men try to get into the group?
So yes, but it wasn't their decision to attempt access. Members have the ability to, share the group. Of course, they still have to answer the questions to get in, and that's when we realized, like, wait, you're a man, so I can't let you in the group. And so I have about 4 moderators, and one of the moderators said, hey, I actually talked to one of the guys that attempted to access the group, and he was really genuinely interested. And so I believe they were starting a male group, as a spinoff of our group, just so that they could have an outlet. I haven't spent much time, figuring out if they actually truly got it started, but I know that there was talk about it, because unfortunately, we didn't let it in. So I'm like, you should start one. And so it just kind of went from there.
If there's only one thing that a woman can take away from the group, what is it that you would hope for them to gain or to learn from it?
I just want each woman to walk away with a sense of feeling that they are a part of something, that they are being supported, that they have somewhere to go if they have questions. I mean, we speak a not necessarily we speak a different language at times, right? We have certain words we use that we know what it means. We know what it means in our household. We know what it meant to grow up in a Black family, in a Black household. And so just knowing that you have that group out there, you may not even know this lady who lives in DC or Atlanta, but you still speak the same language. There's there's other things out there that you may need to get from it. I've had several women leave comments like, "Ooh, I found my group. Ooh, I found where I needed to be." And that sense of belonging, that's what I want them to take from it.
Who's been your biggest inspiration, whether it's organizing or otherwise?
I take something a little bit from everyone. There are some professional organizers in the group that have been active since day one. So I follow them just to keep up and try to understand who they are. But for the most part, I just believe in Black women being able to, and then also at the same time, seeing all these professional Black women, these aspiring young women who are just starting out, and they now have all of these aunties and mamas and grandmamas and big sisters, whatever you want to call it, that are out there that are kind of helping them pave the way. So I can say I take something from everyone in the group.
I love it. Now, my favorite thing to ask everyone, what are your favorite organizing products?
I've always enjoyed Container Store, but most of the time I don't know what half of those products are for. So I'm learning. I spend a lot of time working on my pantry and my closets, and so I love the tags that you can put on your baskets. I almost brought one in here with me, and I forgot to bring it. But the tags that you put in your baskets to label everything, that is just making my life so much easier, because now they know exactly where things go. So there's no second guessing saying, "Oh, I didn't know where to put it." Yes, you did. It's labeled. But I use my Cricut a lot to label things. And so
that's good. Yeah, girl, I have a Cricut. I have not opened that thing, and I keep telling myself I'm going to use it to make labels. I have not done it.
Yes. So that is one of my favorite tools. And then the other product that just changed my life completely, and I see several people are doing it as well, is the spice jars with the labels. And one of my college friends, who was originally, she's a part of the group, and she was really active early on. She shared that with us early on. And I said, "Oh, I never thought about that."
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it in my drawer next to my stove, and my life changed forever. That is best. I'm like, I pull it out, and there are all my spices right there, just laid out. And that is probably the best product that I could have ever purchased.
I love it. And I feel like the biggest thing, because with you, it's like labeling, right? If you don't live by yourself and you have so many people in your house and they might not be the most organized, labeling saves your life.
Yes, absolutely. One other thing that I took away from the group that, product wise, wasn't even a product, it was a hack. Colorizing your file folders, like, for your family, that has changed my life as well. Just I've always been able to find things in my file folders because I label those, but just now adding that color to it has helped out a lot.
So yeah, that is the great thing about the group, because I know whenever I go into the group, I'm going to see so many different, organizing things, and so many people commenting on different things like, "Oh, I didn't know this," and "Oh my goodness, I'm going to do this," and then people sharing their spaces and showing how their spaces turned out. I love it. It is such a wonderful sisterhood that I think most of us didn't realize we needed.
Right.
Tashikia, thank you so much for joining me on Organize Me Radio. Can you tell everybody how they can join the group?
So the name of our Facebook group is called Black Women Who Organize. So you basically can type that into the search function for groups. It will pop up. You will answer a series of questions, And based on your responses, we will allow you to enter the group. We are very sensitive to certain, I guess, words that are used within the group, not just, your standard Facebook curse words, that kind of thing that they kind of monitor. But we understand within our group that there are individuals who do suffer from mental illnesses such as OCD, and attention deficit disorders, and ADHD, and there's so many other ones. And we tend to want to use those words to describe um, the way we are, the way we organize ourselves, the way how clean we are, just as a measurement. And we try to stay away from that completely, just out of respect for those individuals. And so, as a part of that, that's one of the questions we will ask you, is that you refrain from using that terminology.
That's great. That's so important because I'm also a member of the Institute for Challenge and Disorganization. And it's really like learning about, chronic disorganization, ADHD, mental health issues, OCD, and things of that nature. So I agree with you. It's nothing to joke about. There are some people who live with it, but just because you're clean does not mean you should say that you have it, right? So
Right.
I agree, and I love that about the group as well. So thank you so much for being on. I really enjoyed chatting with you and learning more about you.
Thank you. I'm happy that you allowed me to be a part of this. Anytime you want to talk, I'm definitely here for it.
All right. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us on Organize Me Radio. Check us out next time for an all new episode. Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. And remember, get organized, go further. You're listening to Organize Me Radio. I am Naeemah Ford Goldson.